Folks, welcome back. My name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments. Today we're having a conversation on the Weebland, also known as Weiss Schwartz, or just Weiss. We have a new set coming out called the, some people call it Licoris, Recoil, Licoris, Licoris. We have a new Weiss set coming out, and this Recoil set is looking like it's going to be another one of these high demand sets. TCG player is almost completely wiped out already. And the last time we saw this was on some other sets like Azure Lane. Some people call it Azure Lane. I call it Azure Lane, and a few other Weiss sets like HoloLive, Jobless Reincarnation. We get sometimes certain IPs that are a really big deal, and the market just gets wiped out. So, what does that mean? So first we're going to go into the this new Licoris set, and then I want to jump over and talk about the announced reprints. And everybody's screaming the end is near for Weiss because, of course, Bushiroad announced that they are reprinting, well, two sets. Specifically, the biggest one everyone cares about is Azure Lane is getting a reprint already, and investors and collectors are freaking out because the box prices had pretty much doubled to triple, and now everyone's freaking out because it's announced reprint. So I'm going to go into the reprint thing first, okay? I don't know if everyone fully grasps the whole thing of why Bushiroad randomly does a reprint. It's not because, oh, we can sell more boxes and we can make a bunch of quick tendies. Bushiroad usually doesn't reprint Weiss sets. Every once in a while, in the history of the company, they have only reprinted a couple of the sets. Like, it's not even like a quarter of all Weiss sets have ever had a reprint. It's like 5%. It's very, very low. And when they do a reprint, usually there's some reasoning or rationale for it. In the boom of 2021 to the crash of 2022 bear market, we had the big reprint of Attack on Titan, original, Volume 1 and Volume 2, because AOT, final season, was coming out, and the market was in a bubble and a euphoric state, so Bushiroad noticed an opportunity to reprint AOT 1 and 2, and to lean into that moment to get the other cards that go with AOT final season, for those kind of deck builders, and, well, yes, to cash in on revenue on that particular moment. Understand, though, AOT Season 1 and 2 in Weiss, those were one of the first Weiss sets ever made, like 10 years ago, okay? So, understand, those were $300 to $400 booster boxes that almost didn't exist. And now, also understand that these booster boxes that are reprinted, Rudy, the end is near, ruins the investors and collectors. No, it doesn't. Most of the time, actually, it has a short-term 10% swing, and most of the time it goes back to the same price or higher. If you look at sets, like a great example, let's look at Nazarick, okay? Tomb, Undead, blah, blah, blah. Nazarick set, okay? You look at that one. When they reprinted that, and the reprint showed up in the bear market crash, they announced the reprint in the boom of like 2021, and then everything's happened, it got screwed up, it got canceled. By the time the reprint of that showed up, it was like a year and a half later in the crash of the bear market, and the Nazarick reprint came out, crashed to $40-50, the reprint, and then it went right back up to like $100 a box, and now the original Nazarick boxes are still like, I think $200, $300, $400 a box, if you can find them. Now the interesting thing about Weiss is usually when they do a reprint, the $1,000, $5,000 chase cards that they put gold signatures on, the reprints have silver signatures. So actually, not only does it not change the price of the high-end evil investors and collectors wanting the gold signatures, but it actually makes many of them who want their master sets and want to have one of each SP chase gold signature, actually, most of them go out and want to buy a second silver set. And I'll be honest with you, that's what I would do. Because the cards look fucking awesome. Like, if you have the 10 SPs in gold signatures, and the 10 SPs of, like, all silver signatures, dude, I had this one page, this would be a picture. He had the, I don't remember what set it was. He had all the SPs framed. They were raw, not graded. He had all the gold ones, like, on a top row, and all the silver ones on a row below it, with, like, a custom-made matting, with, like, a black, gold, and silver frame to it. It looked fucking amazing. So, no, the way Weiss does this, I don't see an issue with it. And I know, oh, Rudy thinks this, and look, they're reprinting it. You're going to get the Timmy's shallow people who just are uneducated, and they don't see the depth and long-term play here. Now, let's jump to Azure Lane real quick. Azure Lane, I'm not surprised getting a reprint. Okay? Number one, reprints are nowhere near the size of the original. So if you think millions of boxes into Oblivion are going to reprint, then once again, you're stupid. You're going to miss out, just like you did on the Nazareth reprint, just like on, what was the other reprint we had that did really well? There was another one. Someone comment below. I can't remember. Was it a Hololive set? Was it an old one? I don't remember what it was. There was another one. There was a reprint. I know there was a reprint on Reincarnated as a Slime. And the original Reincarnated as a Slime is still like $200 a box. And the reprint's like $60-$70, which is still 30% higher than the original price and everything when it was like $50-$55. It still did fine. And that was the reprint. And that's Slime versus, a bunch of chicks with boobs and a bunch of, manga crazy IP stuff. It's, when you look at this stuff, it does work. And it's just, okay, so back to Azure Lane. Understand, everybody, a lot of stores who requested like a single case of allocation for Azure Lane didn't even get their one case. Okay? I have patrons who, Rudy, you don't have patrons anymore. They all left. You bamboozled. You got me. No, but there's, I would say, at least 100 to 200 of the patrons I have from the thousands they own some sort of business or store. Okay? And multiple of them sent me a message and actually bought when I sold Azure Lane at launch. And I had like 1,000 boxes sold out in fucking 5-10 minutes. It was stupid. And I remember a couple of them actually buying a case from me because they didn't even get filled on their one case. Because there were issues. I think it was some of the supply got messed up or damaged or went missing. One of those maybe overseas shipping custom thing like Rudy's sorcery playmats that no one, in like 5 years from now, there's going to be this random eBay account that's going to have like 1,000 sorcery playmats. Buy it now, like $20 a playmat. That's coming. And I hope when that shows up, somebody sends me a message to a link. It's going to happen one day. So a lot of stores didn't get the product. Okay? And Bushy Road says, okay, we need to make more Azure Lane. The box prices are already over doubled. They're up over 100% in a couple months. And again, I've said it many times. While I like to see price appreciation, it needs to be stable and calm. And I don't want to say like respectful, but it needs to appreciate in the correct manner. Okay? A product should not come out at $60 a box and immediately be worth $120 in a couple months. That's too fast. That means the company did drop the ball. A product should come out and do nothing, not collapse, not skyrocket. A sealed product should come out at 60, 70 and stay around, maybe bounce to 50, bounce to 80, go back to 70, back to 60. It should swing and stay plus or minus maybe a 25% variance in both ways. And it should just swing around as buyers and stores just move things around and release. It should stay that way for release, R plus 30 days or R plus 90. Now, when you get past 3 months, 6 months, a year, the product should be getting more scarce and you should be drifting from 60 to 70s and 80s. In a year from now, maybe 85, 90. 2 years from now, 3 years from now, it should be going to 100 plus. That is a stable, healthy supply, healthy demand. People like the product. It's getting old, getting time under the belt. That's the way it should be. Azure Lane didn't do that. Okay? Jobless Reincarnation did that. Hololive is doing that. Dragon Maid. There's a couple. They're all doing the correct things, which is slow and steady movements as time goes on. And that's what they're supposed to do. And I don't see anything wrong with that. So back to the new Weiss release. So I'm hoping to get this video out on Sundays. It's being filmed on a Friday. And I'm hoping you guys, I can get this before Sunday night when I run my new, I can never say, Lycoris. Some people say Lycoris, some say Lycross. The Lycross recoil set. Hopefully that's another exciting one. And hopefully then I can do a box opening. I always like to do one box opening on each Weiss, but sometimes I miss a set here and there. It's a lot of fun to do, and I'll report back to let you guys know how that goes. More importantly, I just wanted people to give an update on the Weiss market. That's my response on this whole Weiss, Schwartz, and Bushy Road doing reprints randomly of different sets. It's not random. It's not what they think they can sell the most of. They target it to specific reasons. AOT 1 and 2 and Final Season was because the Final Season, the finale, and the original 1 and 2 that go along with the Final Season that people were buying, you couldn't get the cards. They were literally non-existent. So, I mean, I get it. It makes sense. In the original AOT 1 and 2, well, they didn't really, not really much changed. And I don't think Azure Lane is going to be any difference. I think this Lycross, whatever you want to call it, this new recoil set, I think it's going to do really well. I don't think it's going to be an Azure Lane comes out and doubles to 120, but I think this is going to have the behavior of like a Dragon's Maid, or maybe like a HoloLive. Maybe I think it's going to be one of these sets that comes out. It's going to be kind of stable, then it's going to pop. And the concern I have right now is overall, there's like nothing on the market. I don't know. I heard rumors that some people in stores missed the pre-order, and one distributor that carried Weiss in the U.S. Missed and messed up the timing, and the pre-order cutoff date was messed up. So a bunch of stores who only use that one distributor were not able to order this particular product. So there were some issues on the back end during the pre-order. Remember, pre-ordering for Weiss happens months in advance. Literally, they tell me the name of the set, and they're like, Rudy, are you going to order it or what? Are you going to do your normal order? You want 1,000 boxes? You cutting them back to 500? You're going to try to get more? So, this happens months in advance. It's not a week or two ago. This is 2, 3, 4, 5 months in advance, depending on the time of year, the release schedule, and cycle with Bushy-Rhodes. So there's a huge lead time on these things. And sometimes, yeah, there are mistakes made. And as of right now, it's looking like this new Lycora set is going to have some supply issues because there's very, very little available. And right now, going into release, we should see the most amount of stores listing their product, and we're not quite seeing that compared to the previous Weiss releases. So that's definitely a little concerning on price stability and, of course, demand of everything. That's all I have to say. We haven't done much content lately on the updates of like One Piece and Weiss and Disney Lorcana and all this stuff. There's been a lot of craziness going on between the new Pokemon release, which I don't even know if I released the video yet, and of course with Magic's craziness, collapse of Karlov Manor, the boom of Fallout, and I got patrons and you all blowing me up saying, Rudy, you have to do follow-up videos. Have you seen Ixalan and Ixalan collectors? Rudy, for the love of God, everybody made fun of you for Lord of the Rings special boxes. They rode your ass and made fun of you for months. Why aren't you making a follow-up on Lord of the Rings Holiday Special, all-time high, about to be more expensive than the original? I know, I'm getting to it. I'm catching up on this stuff. Thanks for watching, everybody. Again, it's nice when things appreciate and do well. But again, just like you all, I diversify into all these different sets. Some do really well. Some do really bad. Some just sit and just look at us and do nothing at all. It's important to take the big wins with the big losses. There's Weiss sets that are 30 bucks a box. There's Weiss sets that are $300 a box that I've made a ton on. And of course, same thing with Magic and Pokemon and Flesh and Blood. And of course, Disney Lorcana drama. And of course, this One Piece craziness. That's just how these markets work. So it's nice to be excited when certain things go crazy. But we got to ask, why did that particular thing go crazy? What's causing it? Is it stable? Is it going to hold that? And it feels good, but we got to always have things in context. Even when we call it a big win in Pokemon or something, we need to kind of step back and say, that's great. We're seeing appreciation, which means the market's happy. Buyers want the product. The supply is not overdone. But we got to really make sure that we don't get blinded by our emotions many times. And again, I've been hardcore in this industry now for 20 years. I've been on YouTube for 9 years. I'm approaching probably almost 4,000 YouTube videos. And of course, I've been doing Patreon for almost 8 years. I'm one of the original, what they call the founder Patreon account system with different structures and everything. And yeah, it's been a long time. We've seen a lot happen over the years. And it's nice when things go good, but it's important to not get overly positive. It's important to not brag that something goes up. It's important to just kind of learn why we did so well in something and kind of use that to try to help us in the future. I think that's the most important thing. So thanks for everybody. Thanks for the views. Thanks for the support. As always, this channel is brought to you by you all. I appreciate it. And I know this is a Weiss video, so I don't expect a lot of views. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day.